We love them. They provide our mugs and our swag, like this one. Brian loves this one. This one is so awesome. And so if you think about it, it's getting nice and warm outside. I can't wait. I just saw the sun. Think about your family reunions, picnics, ministries. You can look to them. And they love the Lord and they're investing in the city. So click on the banner and contact them and check them out. And again, they do our mugs, which is so awesome. I especially love their stuff. Doesn't look cheesy. It's like good quality and it's great products. Check them out. And we are talking about, Brian, what?
We're talking about me? Hey, how you doing?
All right. Go
Talking
ahead.
about Brian.
We are talking about you, though, but go ahead. About what? Oh!
Get on there so we can
do
say
your
hi to
job?
people.
Hi, Mike. Okay, look, watch. Hi, Mike. Hi, Callie. How are you doing? Deborah and Miss Anita. Thank you.
Think Dr.
What's
Jones
up?
is late again?
Team Jannelle. Dr. Jones is like homeschooling. She got stuff to do. Thank you. Good morning, Aisha. What's up?
Yeah.
Gary's here. Woo! My
Mrs.
friend is here.
Mrs.
You don't even know.
Jones.
What's up, Dawn? You my girl. Let me
What?
give you 5. Dawn, right there. She's my accountant.
Oh.
She is so smart.
Did you know that
I want to be like Dawn.
I can tell Team Brian?
No, she's Team Janelle.
She is
Dawn, can
no.
you let him know?
No.
What's up, Dawn?
She's professionally obligated to be
Perfect.
Team
What?
Jannelle, and she's personally Team Brian. Thank you.
You got
I just did it. Thank you.
She told me. She was like,
That's what she does. She
I
says
like when you
outrageous
set him
stuff.
straight.
Oh,
Thank you.
she says outrageous stuff and throws thank you at the end of it as if that somehow settles it.
Her
Thank
whole
you.
team is awesome. Lori works there.
Now you just suck it
Thank
up.
you. Because she's awesome. I don't got to suck up. Thank you. Eva is here. What's up, Tammy? Mike, we love when you're on. Gary, Team Brian. Go ahead. Cheer for Team Brian.
Gary knows all about Team Brian.
Novella, thank you, girl. I'm struggling. Look at my edges. See?
I
And
thought
then
you
when
had
you- when
an
you
edge
do
cream
the
for that.
rollers, look, I can't straighten all this out. I tried.
You got a lot of gray hidden
So
in there.
I do. It's awesome. I earned them. Thank you. With all these kids.
Thank you. I love when you do
Doesn't
that.
it sound official though?
Yeah.
I could be a lawyer, be like, listen, judge, that he was seen right there in the property. Thank you. And go sit
I
down.
don't think Judge Judy would put up with that.
Thank you.
I shouldn't talk. I got some gray right in
You know
there.
what Judge Judy would say to
Right
that?
in there. What?
The only one in charge up in here is me. This is my court.
That should be like, right, Bert? Isn't that his name?
Bert is amazing.
And he'll just go like,
Yeah. God, she is so awesome. Hold on. Dawn says, you are so sweet, Jannelle. She's Team Jannelle. Woo-hoo! Thank you. And Twee's here.
Aunt Twee, Team Brian. Bam.
And she says, I'm Team Brian all the way. She is
That's right.
all about you. What did you do when you were little? Oh, no, it wasn't you. It was Sarah.
But I'm adopted into Twee Leach's
Yes.
family. So
Sandy-
she is my aunt, legally.
Yeah, she is. Rachel, what's up? She's like, where's y'all green? What's up with that? Let's get something green. I am all about
Yeah, Jannelle, you're...
St.
aren't
Patrick's Day. Yeah.
Aren't you like...
Oh my God.
Aren't you like 98% Irish? Isn't that right?
No, there's no Irish in me.
You sure it's not
Actually,
Jannelle O'Neville's?
So I'm still working on getting the DNA thing for my grandfather. And like, I made a mistake. We did it. He's 94, y'all, 95. So sad. I'm going from like sad to like pumped up. He got COVID and he survived. He got the vaccine. Everything's great, but like his lungs are still messed up.
That's a bummer.
Doesn't that stink to live this long? And like, oh, it's just whatever. But anyways, I'm trying to get that straightened out. But on my mom's side, she has Portuguese in her. Isn't that weird? It's a lot.
Well,
So
I mean,
obviously a lot of Spanish.
I love Portuguese people.
I mean, I do too, but
She
I'm
thinks
like,
they're weird.
where the heck? They don't even speak Spanish. So she has some Ghana, a whole lot of Ghanaian, and then Spanish.
But there's no
like,
Irish in there?
Her dad was first generation immigrant in his family.
So your sister's not like redhead and freckles.
No, there's no Irish. None of that. No. What about y'all? Aren't you from that side of town?
I am Scandinavian. We are not Irish. But I'm going to eat some corned beef and cabbage tonight. And don't tell me it's not Irish because I don't
Somebody checked them and was like, Brian, corned beef is not Irish.
care. Guess who cares? Not this guy.
Rachel is laughing at you. Mike says honorary Irish
She's laughing at
today.
you.
Oh, darling. Oh, Neville's. And so we're talking about Kirk
We're gonna do a
Franklin.
real topic today.
Yeah, we are. We got like 6 minutes. Go.
Do you see
6 minutes. Go.
She is so bossy.
Go. I was born to boss people around.
Yeah,
That's
ask
my
your
brother.
sisters about that.
I am so serious.
Your sisters are tired of it. Giselle's probably watching in there somewhere, going like, "That's right, she's
Oh
bossy."
gosh. Go ahead.
Okay, you may have heard about this. Grammy-winning gospel singer Kirk Franklin apologized over the weekend after his son, adult son, about 30-some years old, posted a recording of a phone call he had with his dad, Kirk Franklin, where Kirk hurled profanities and an apparent threat at his son. In audio of a partial phone call posted by, I think it's Carrie on Franklin, into his Instagram account, the elder Franklin can be heard saying, "You need to get your..."
Well, it was a cuss word.
Period. I mean, he said a whole bunch of stuff. I can't even summarize it. Better get out of the way and
Thank you, Kathy.
stop it.
That's right, Kathy. Go ahead.
And then he says, then he can be heard saying, "I will break your neck if you disrespect me." And then sounds like he hangs up. And then you can hear in the recording his son saying, "Did he just hang up the phone? I'll break your neck? Is that a threat?" Recording ends. The pair have had a tumultuous relationship, according to NBC News. And then the carry-on says, "This is why I'm done." On Instagram he says this. "No father should speak to his children like this. Hanging up in my face, no apology, no compassion, no effort. Stop telling me to go home to my family. I don't even know where they live. I don't think I'll ever trust my father to be alone around him ever again. I don't want to do this. I probably won't release the entire recording because it's too embarrassing that I'm even dealing with this." And then Kirk Franklin posted a response, a video response on his Facebook page that reads in part, "Many of you know I have an older son named Carrie Franklin. We've had a toxic relationship with him as a family. We've tried for many years, through counseling, through therapy, to try to rectify this private family matter." He said his therapist had been on the call earlier in the conversation, but he never played that part of the recording. And then Kirk Franklin said, "I felt extremely disrespected in that conversation and I lost my temper. And I said words that are not appropriate, and I am sincerely sorry to all of you. I'm not perfect, I'm human, and I'm going to make mistakes, and I'm trying to make it right. Please keep me and my family in your prayers."
So during the show, we talked about why does he have to apologize, and more importantly, how if we were recorded, the things that would come up. We didn't get specific though. I just want to make sure we get to Rachel and Kathy. They said, "I'm not bossy, that is leadership." And then Rachel said, "It's not bossy, it's leadership abilities on display." Thank you. How come we do that to girls? That's right. Thank you. I'm in charge.
So girls can't ever be bossy?
I'm not bossy. I'm
That's
a
not my
leader.
question.
I am a leader.
So girls are capable of being
I am
bossy.
the boss.
So
Thank
girls
you.
are capable of being bossy, not leaders? Is it possible?
No. Callie, what's up? Callie says, "I loved your shout out on the radio last week, Jannelle. My oldest son, Patrick, was like, 'Whoa, mama, did she say?'" And Callie says, "The boys, they have Irish names, all her kids." She says, "The boys are for school. My daughter and I are still in our PJs." So they're in school,
They're
the
gonna
boys.
be wearing their green.
It's all right. Janelle's sister is still asleep. Giselle
She
doesn't
got
get
a
up.
little baby. She wakes up to nurse her baby.
No, at like 10.
So listen, we talked about a text that came in. We were saying, okay, what do we do with Kirk Franklin and all that? And Rob, a friend of the show, said we should consider the son's age, 33, cultural differences, and the truth. Christians are a work in progress. And so it just brought up kind of that. Brian talks about how he lived in Southside Chicago. And I was thinking about his neighbors because I was like, man, if you were the only white person there, they probably had a lot of times they had to behave because you were around. That sounds so like messed up. But it's not. It's like we act differently when white people are around. Because one example, I have a friend that says how tiring it can be. Tiring it can be to hang out with her white friends. Put her guards down. She can't speak a certain way, just herself, or to her kids. So an example is something I did at Brian's house. So obviously, an all-white household.
You thought you were alone in the kitchen.
I thought I was alone in the kitchen with Miss Raina. And if you know Raina, you just know. In fact, one of the first times I was recognized far away in a farm was because I was calling Raina, because Raina don't listen. So I was like, Raina, come here. And somebody was like, you're Jannelle. Brian and Jannelle. So I was talking to Raina, and then I said, listen, girl, if you don't listen, I'm going to hurt you. That's not something.
Right as I was walking in the
Yeah.
room, and she saw that I heard that, she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry."
I'm not going to hurt her.
And I was like, "I'm not worried about it."
And so those are kind of things you wouldn't say if, like, I did a play date and my friend, an average white person, was sitting in the room, because it sounds messed up. It sounds abusive, you know, or like something. I've told my kids all the time. I'd be like, "Listen, boy, I'm gonna get you. Watch when we get home. I'm gonna get you." Sounds. Or like on the radio, I said how Len all the time will tell the kid, "I gave you life. I'll take it away."
Didn't he yell something out the window once? I don't know if you.
Oh my gosh! So we're like surrounded by our awesome, like very awesome neighbors, and they're white. And so, but whatever, they see a whole lot of stuff. And so the boys were playing basketball next door, and they weren't listening. Len was like, "You got to come inside." Then he goes, "I'm going to wear your butts out if you don't come inside." And I said, "Len, you can't do that. Oh my gosh." Because it, like, the boys are like, "Okay, I'm going to see y'all." But can you imagine people around? They were like, "What?"
He wears your butt.
Oh my God.
How do you sit down?
And so
There's cultural differences
it
there.
sounds messed up when I said it, but there were people texting saying, "Oh my gosh, yeah, like we do have to, you know."
In my cultural experience, to use a phrase like that would be quietly in your child's ear so nobody else can hear it. But what everybody else
Also,
hears.
y'all do say it.
Well, but it might be more specific. Like, if you do that one more time, I am going to spank you.
Okay,
I'm
good.
not afraid to do that in public. You know?
Yeah.
But in front of people, my cultural experience would be, Tommy, you're making a very bad choice. You need to stop that right now,
Yeah.
or you will be in a timeout, Tommy. And then my experience on the south side would have been, what did you say? I'm gonna knock you out.
Knock you out.
Say that again. You watch, I knock you out.
That's right.
And it's a little startling at first, but
Yeah.
nobody ever got knocked out.
Yeah.
Like no children. Like I never walked in a room and said, "What's wrong with your son?"
Yeah.
Oh, I knocked him out.
Yes.
No, like no one ever did it.
Or somebody texted and was like, "Oh, my awesome mom would tell us 10 kids, I'm gonna wring your neck." Have you heard that one? That sounds so jacked up. But it's so sad. In fact, I have a dear friend, I've talked to you about it, that we have these differences, but I want to get close to her. She's very white. Like, you know, she doesn't live in a diverse community, all of that. And I don't want to feel that. You know, like, I want to be me, but I'm always thinking, like, oh, that sounds... And so you've encouraged me and told me, tell her that. You know, like, how do you get rid of that? What do I do with my friend that says, I get tired. Like, it's hard for me to hang out with my white friends because it's, like, I feel more like, okay, I got to... How do you get rid of that when you want to grow in intimacy with people? Is this the first time you've heard this? It might sound crazy.
No.
Does that make sense that it's not as relaxing? It sounds so messed up.
I remember, I've told you about an awkward conversation Sarah and I had at church, in our black church in Chicago.
Yeah.
Remember, we're standing around as a couple's Bible study class after the class, right? And at our church, there was like us, and there was like the other white guy, who was a single white guy. Who
Oh,
went
yeah.
there. And we're standing in a circle of a whole bunch of couples. We're the white couple, everybody else is black. And somebody brings up, "Hey, did y'all hear what Mike said?" or whatever. And we're like, "Who?" And they're all looking at each other. You know, the guy, he's tall. He sits in the church in the front. He's got the clothes. And Sarah and I are like, no idea who you're talking about. They're like, and so they do all these descriptors. And finally Sarah, guy. And they were like, well, yes, but we didn't, you know, we didn't even notice. And we were laughing. Like, they had to like perform. They had to like not totally be like, you know, the white dude up front. They were afraid of offending us by saying that.
Yeah.
My answer is just, what I would say is just don't fake it in front of people. And if they can't handle it, don't be their friend.
That's the thing. Don't fake it. But then it's that thing of, wow, you're saying just put it out there? Talk how you talk. You
And
know
if they
who I'm
can't handle
talking
it,
about.
and
You
if
know
they
what
can't handle it, then they shouldn't be your friend. Like, why should you have to pretend and they don't?
Yeah.
Aren't you giving them power?
Yeah, you want them, you don't want to make them feel uncomfortable.
It's sweet, but
You
it's not
don't want to
necessary.
sound, you don't want to sound, yeah, I don't know. Rob says, I remember as a kid trying to count to 50-11. Only some will get this. Oh, man. 50, have you heard that? I have never heard that.
Rob, look at me. You're going to have to define.
Rachel says, my dad was pastor, principal, leader, but in our house, if we were cutting up, you just might earn a get it together, I'm a jerk a knot in you. I know that's right. Eva said,
No, that it sounds horrible.
I know.
Eva says, man, you can't get away with anything anywhere. Because, Rachel.
Yeah, wow, yeah. Okay, so
Mike says his mom is famous for saying, I'll knock your block
off. Knock your head off.
Wow, you know what that sounds like though? Have you heard of black parents telling their kids, I'm gonna knock the black off of you?
I think I've heard that one.
Yo, parents yell some
What did
stuff
they say?
out. I'm gonna knock the black off of you. Yo, parents just yell some stuff that you have to, like, I would have to, like, trip up and, like, laugh. That sounds crazy. Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
What did Danella say?
Danella says, the majority of my black friends don't like hanging out with my white friends. It gets a little uncomfortable, so I just don't even try anymore. I just hang out with them separately. It's sad, but it's a reality.
But see,
and some of it, it's not that anybody does anything wrong. It's that you just can't put the guard down.
That's what I was going to say, though, is a lot of the white people would probably be like, listen, I'm not asking you to perform for me.
Yeah, yes. Like my neighbor, she's awesome. I got a few of them. But the one that my girls hang around with, listen, like, I got to stop pretending. So I'll be, like, pulling in. It just happened, like, 2 days ago. And I had to go because I had to go to a business meeting. And the kids are, like, coming in and out the van. You got to make up your mind right now. Get out or get in. Like this. I'm like... And then when she pulls up, I'm like, hey, how are you doing? Rita, you ready?
Get in the van.
You know?
Please.
The secret's out with her because she lives next door.
Get in the van. I'm going to leave you here forever.
Exactly. Yeah, but I think, like you said, what a way to tell somebody, I want to be your friend, than doing what you just said. Even if they don't tell you, be yourself. You know, it's that fear of, will you still accept me? Or...
Yeah.
50-11? 50-11.
50-11. Somebody's going to, Rob, will you text me or something? Or someone's got to explain that to me.
Mike says 50-11 is still a Zoomer for me.
Okay, would you Google it?
50-11.
Maybe it'd be an urban dictionary.
I know. Wow, that's messed up. Y'all know I'm Latina.
No, just Google it. It'll come up.
50-11.
We're right in front of you. We're going to
That's
look this
so
up.
messed up. Primarily black people. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, so ready, y'all? We got the Urban Dictionary.
Been to do.
Where's the thing? Here it is. Okay, go. No?
Amounting to a large number, many. Its synonyms are a bunch of stuff we can't say. A lot. I chewed about 50-11 packs of gum trying to build that website.
Wow. One who has, okay. A lot. Wow, Brian, this is horrible.
So it's a made-up number. It's like a bajillion.
Sandy says, but what does it mean and where did it come from? 50-11. Donella says, yes, just be yourself.
I told you 50-11 times to sit down.
Rob says, wow.
Why? I wish I knew the source of that. Because it's not that many.
No.
That's 61.
It's not.
I mean, even I could do that. Rob, it's only 61.
What?
Wouldn't it be a million
God.
times? It'd be better. I told you a million times to sit down.
Callie agrees. Don't fake it. Don't fake it until you make it. Never heard of that before. Because somebody else says, yes, I understand it can be guarded sometimes hanging out with our white friends.
So why? What are we doing that's making you feel uncomfortable? Is it because we kind of go, When you yell, I'm going to break your face to your kid, or
No, not break.
I'm going to wring your neck, I'm
I'm
going
gonna
to knock the
jack you
black
up.
out of you.
I've gotten reactions
I'm
with.
gonna jack
I
you
mean, oh yeah, I didn't say that. Yeah, I'm gonna jack you up. Yes, that's one. You'll get reactions, and then you feel like you gotta explain. Oh no, I'm not really gonna jack him up. I'm not really gonna knock him out. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not sure what jacking up is, but you really shouldn't do that.
or or that. Like, imagine if I said I'm gonna jack you up next to my next to
You
my
tell
neighbor.
me that.
I would go. I do. I would go home and tell my sister, "Oh my gosh, she probably thinks I abuse my kids." So it's
Stuff
that.
you say to
It's
me when the
feeling,
mics are off.
It's feeling like you have to explain. Or I'm picturing myself if I was with my white friends and I really was myself. Would I feel like I would have to be like, listen, I know that you don't say y'all. I know that it's a double negative. Like, I'm just. Do you see what I'm
Why do you
saying?
feel like you
I
have
think
to do
that's
that?
cute, though. Like y'all.
Yeah, why do you have to
Like,
do
that's
that? We don't.
Or like, let's say, listen, if you're around Latinas, I'm not tripping. We are loud. Like my friends when I went to school, or Isaiah's friends, they'd be like, are they, especially because we're speaking Spanish, are they like mad? So we talk loud and we talk fast, and he has to look at them and be like, they're good, like they're just
That's
excited.
what she's like.
You know, and so I'm thinking about my friend. If I was myself, it would be like, yo, like calm down, and can you kind of tone it down a little bit? Do you see what I'm saying? We're very like the whole wepa. So when you come in certain circles, you want to like, okay, it's out of place if I act like myself.
So is it possible then that Kirk Franklin's son knew he's popular with white audiences
Yeah.
and knew he meant, I'm going to break your neck, doesn't mean he's literally going to
Yeah.
break his neck, but it would scare white people?
Yeah. There are things, Len says, I'm going to keep it real, to our kids that they know not to take it out of the house because it would make his dad look jacked up. But you know, Len. And so they would know, like,
He's
yo,
all
if
talk.
my kids, if my friends heard this, they would, you know, so you keep it. So, yes, that's power that Kirk Franklin's son had to now bring it out.
Because based on what you're saying, Kirk Franklin didn't really mean he will physically break the neck of his 33-year-old
No.
adult son?
No.
Wow, I didn't realize he knew those moves. That's a. I thought that was Chuck Norris was doing the break the neck.
There's
Yeah.
a few comments that are really good. Rachel said, but for real, it's not just about being accepted because then it's like you're on some some novelty on display. That can be uncomfortable.
Oh, I see. So
And-
you just don't want to stand out. I see.
Yeah. Danella says, I will admit that hanging with white people is different than hanging with my white friends. So maybe my black friends don't see them as white friends. They just see them as white people. Yo, that sounds messed up, but it's real. Like, you get it. So because we're friends, or let's say my neighbor, if I told Raina, I'm going to jack you up, y'all will get it. Y'all will be like, oh, there goes Jannelle. You know I'm not abusive, so you would give me the benefit of the doubt.
Other people like,
CPS.
Exactly.
Jannelle is going to break her children.
Exactly. Exactly.
do you see what Sarah said?
Sarah says, I wondered when you'd get to the Latina aspect. There's no fear like the fear of your mother's sandal. Oh my gosh. Sarah. I was
Chancleta?
telling,
Is that what that is?
La chancleta.
That was way
And
off.
then in DR, the chancleta is, and Sarah, maybe you guys have this. It's like rubber, hard rubber. That junk hurts.
So it's not a flip-flop.
No! And so my grandmother, Sarah, I was telling Brian, chased us. We were like 8 or something, around the house with the chancleta in hand, trying to get us. And we were like laughing, running, and then she hid behind the corner and came out and she got us. We've been hit with a switch. My other grandmother keep a switch, or she'll go tell you go get the switch.
So you pull a branch off the tree.
Yo, go
You
get
just go look for the littlest one you can find.
But like, we love that. You know, it sounds so messed up, but it's like.
You ever bring in
no.
a really big one because it's hard to swing? I'd go like break a big one off. Try to do this, Dad. See what Vita wrote?
Vita says, well, there's a difference between cussing out, conjecture, hyperbole, and total disrespectful language meant to provoke a response in someone. Not gonna lie, my mom or dad cussed me out like I'm someone off the street, and I'm in my 30s and 40s, and it's something that has been happening my whole life. I will either dare you to do it, tape you, or check you back. It's not about honor your father or mother. It's about being loving and not provoking one another. Absolutely.
Interesting point. Yeah.
Yeah. And there is some stuff, I want to keep it clear, that is put under, oh, it's culture or it's what we do, that is unacceptable. You know, like just because it's culture, it don't mean
Doesn't mean it's right.
it's right, because we're believers first. So I want to make clear I do that. But if I was to do my childhood over again, that's fine. Like I needed the switch a bunch of times, or la chancleta. Abuse
Still need
and
it.
abuse is different.
Well,
It's
and then
different.
I mean, saying I'm going to break your neck to your kid or your 33-year-old son. That's different, right?
Yeah.
So is that the point that she's making? That Vita's making is that the fact that it's a grown person makes it different,
Is that better or what? What did
makes
she
it
say?
worse.
Oh,
It's
wow.
your adult child.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Vita says that we're all different and sometimes it's cultural. Gary says, are those police waiting outside the studio, Jannelle?
Yeah, probably.
Man, my kids.
Kathy asked a good question. Scrolling up just a touch, just a little touch, little more,
Oh.
little more. There.
Is this really a black issue or does everyone have different ways out of public and behave? Yeah, behaving in public.
Yes and yes. You're thinking black issue maybe in terms of skin color, and we're talking African American in terms of a cultural identity. So there are different ways of public behaving in every culture.
Yeah.
And if one believes African Americans have their own subculture, then yes, it's a black issue if you define it that way, black. And I think there are norms in white suburban culture.
Yeah.
There's norms in white rural culture. There's
Yeah.
norms. I mean, I think norms change based on not just even your broader culture, but your subculture,
Yeah.
your smaller culture within a
Yeah.
community. Like there's middle class black culture,
Yes.
and there's inner
Yes.
city black culture.
Oh, very
And there's-
different. John, Dr. John says, when my cousin was young, his mom told him to go get a switch from the tree. Being the funny guy, he went and picked a 2-inch stick from the tree. He got out of the punishment.
Yeah. See, I was right.
Miss Diola says she was raised with a switch and she's white. She said she had to get her own too.
So I wonder if Theola did that too. Oh, there's a giant branch. I'm going to drag it in the house. See if Dad can swing it.
Gosh. But yeah, that really helped me about what you guys said. Just be yourself. And maybe say, is it awkward to say it?
What?
If you really want to be friends with someone, to say, listen, like, this is what I feel, you know?
I think you could do that if
or
you wanted,
no,
but
or
to
is
me,
that awkward?
the process of building a friendship is slowly revealing more of yourself, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't reveal your total full self to someone you barely know. That comes over time.
Okay.
There's certain things you don't let people see. But I think that at some point in a cross-cultural friendship, you've got to start letting down those cultural walls.
Mm.
And it's not on necessarily the other person to make you feel comfortable. It might just have to be something that you let
Yeah,
happen
yeah,
and you
yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
Kathy says her husband's family is way louder than mine. Man, we are loud.
Jannelle's family
Duh.
is like magnitudes of hundreds louder than the Neville's family.
Yo, oh. But then look at that. The culture came down. Like, we do Thanksgiving together a lot, or Christmas. We, like, the extended family.
And the Nevilles bring your plugs, maybe?
Yeah, exactly. Like, they love...
Although Lisa's kind of loud.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Like, even the whole thing of, they don't do the whole, we don't feel uncomfortable speaking Spanish. And in other circles, you can't do that because some people think you're talking about them.
Because you are.
know? So, no. So you do that thing of, like you said, I think it's gradual and it has to come down, or you just can't, because then you limit the times. Who wants to be around somebody where you can't be yourself? Rachel says, true, Brian, very true. Love to see your comments. It is, whoa, we're way past the time. We gotta go, my people. Thank you.
She did it again.
Gotta go.
Thank
Love
you.
y'all.